Hey, what's up, everybody? So Sharifa here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, before I get into it, as usual, guys, you already know I got to give a big shout out to everybody that's been engaging in my past content, subscribing to my channel, giving me a thumbs up, commenting on the posts. That's what I do this for. As you all know, this channel is for educational purposes, and you're not the only one learning. I'm learning too along this journey. So, we just passing down information. I'm giving you what happens to me throughout my progress and my little experiments. And, I hope you guys appreciate this. If this is the type of content you like and this is the first time that you visit my channel, please hit the thumbs up. Please comment on the post if you're interested. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Without further ado, I'm gonna get right into it. I did a 3-day in-tank treatment of antibiotics, and last night I performed my first water change after the treatment has been completed. Right now, I just want to show you guys my progress, what everything looks like, and what I did last night during the water change process. So the corals right now, they're looking very healthy and fluffy as usual, and everything is opened up. My lights are not on yet, but they will be on in the early afternoon. I just have a lot of light entering my apartment right now because I just have huge windows. But yeah, guys, everything looks really good. The torches look very happy, and they're very open. Everything is looking really well. My Akins, my Welsos. Just look. Everything looks very fluffy, super healthy. There's nowhere I can go right now in my tank that you can see that there's no polyp extension. So, if you ask me, as of right now in this moment, I think the treatment was a success, because after that first water change I did last night, which was a 40-gallon water change, which, by the way, I'm gonna do another 40-gallon water change today. As soon as I did my water change last night, I started filling up these 2 20-gallon brute trash cans, and I mixed in an extra fresh batch of salt so that I could do another water change today. But yeah, everything looks super healthy. What did I do after my water change? So after my water change, the first thing that I did was turn on all of my equipment. I turned on my UV. I turned on my protein skimmer. I also dosed Microbacter 7 to just add a nice bacterial replenishment into the aquarium. Today, I am making this video early because soon after I make this video, I'm gonna make a trip to my local fish store, and I'm gonna buy some additional bacteria so that I could add to the aquarium. The particular bacteria that I'm gonna get, I'm looking at Dr. Tim's, the one and only, most likely. The same nitrifying bacteria that we buy when we first want to cycle a brand new tank. That's what I'm gonna buy, because there is an impact made to your biological filtration in the tank during these antibiotic treatments. So it's not to say that you killed all the biological filtration in your tank, but you did pause it, and you did make it a little stagnant for those 3 days. In a 3-day period is usually not that big of a deal. Some people are known to even go longer. For me, I find 3 days to be the sweet spot based on my research, and I'm gonna keep it that way. So today I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna buy that nitrifying bacteria. I'm gonna see what's in the market. I got the Dr. Tim's in mind, but who knows, when I get there, I might buy something else. I'm taking you guys down here to my sump so that you can see. I turned my fleece roller back on. I had that off during the treatment. I added a fresh batch of carbon. I'm running the Brightwell's Pureit carbon, so I made sure I cleaned that off very nicely. And I ran my carbon. I turned on my protein skimmer. which is running great. And since I was already working on the tank, I made sure to do a little nice touch to my sump. So I cleaned everything out. As you can see, everything looks super, super clean and it's looking great. Say hello to my little friend right here. This hermit crab, for those of you that don't know, is probably the oldest and one of the first. I think it is the oldest right now, because my clownfish were the oldest before him, but this little hermit crab here is the oldest specimen in my tank. Like, I've had him longer than anything else. So, you know, he chills down here in the sump. I don't like to have him in the top because those are not reef safe hermit crabs, unfortunately. So I'll leave him down there, and he's been thriving. He's already 5 years old, so don't feel sorry for him. He's happy down there. But yeah, I turned on my skimmer. I got my turf scrubber running as usual, and everything is going great. You know, the only thing that I need to really worry about right now, since I did an antibiotic treatment, is just to monitor my nutrients, which I am going to do. And, you know, just to keep an eye out. Observation is key. So I got to make sure that I observe and look for bad symptoms of, you know, possibilities of cyano or dino, which honestly, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I don't think that's gonna happen because of the precautions that I'm taking. On top of the bacteria that I'm gonna be dosing today later on after I do my next water change, I am also going to make sure that I get pods. You know, I'm gonna get some pods, baby, because we gotta make sure that we give our tank the best opportunity to bounce back. Now, when am I gonna get those pods? Maybe not just yet. I might wait like a week, maybe even longer, a week or two, to get the pods. It all depends. I'm trying to see how I'm gonna manage that situation. But at the end of the day, I am gonna get the pods to repopulate my tank, and I am gonna make sure that I do that for sure. I just think that, you know, it's an extra step, an extra security precaution that I think we should take when we do these type of treatments. It's not in a handbook or anything like that. I'm just using my knowledge and my problem solving skills in my mind to determine, like, okay, let me do this, let me do that to avoid this, to avoid that. You know, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is to replenish your biological filtration. You need that good bacteria in your tank. And I did dose the Microbacter 7, you know, but I'm also gonna get some nitrifying bacteria today that I'm gonna dose into my tank as well, just to add on that extra blanket of security, you know what I mean? But with all that said, guys, I already showed you everything. Pretty much you can see my acros, the polyps are coming out. You can see the polyps, they're out. This guy, he is happy. You know, by bird's nest, nothing can kill this thing. Like, I think this water could be polluted. This thing will still grow. I mean, check it out. Look, compared to everything else, right? But yeah, look, I'm just going to all the acros so that you can see. Polyps are all fully extended. Everybody looks happy. And, you know, I feel like this was a success so far, you know? Now it's just a matter, like I said earlier, observing and checking my nutrients. You know, which I think I'm gonna be all right, but we have to be careful, because the problem with the nutrients is not if they're too high, is if they bottom out, you know? So we gotta keep an eye out on that too. Since I have such a strong filtration system, you know, I got pretty much all of the ends covered. I got a UV, I got a fleece roller, I got a pretty decent protein skimmer, and I'm running this turf scrubber. On top of that, I'm running carbon. We gotta make sure that we test our nutrients and we don't bottom things out, because when you bottom things out and your water is too clean, that's when the issues start happening. So I'm gonna make sure I cover all of those ends. and, you know, do my due diligence. With all that said, guys, once again, if you guys enjoy what you see, if you like the information that I'm sharing with you, my experience and the risks that I'm taking, because I could tell by some of the comments in the previous posts related to this video that people are very skeptical about this treatment. And here I am just trying to help you guys out, pass down some information, and just show you that you can do it. And we need to open up our minds about the fact that almost any and everything in this hobby is risky. Even water changes are risky if you don't do them properly. You know what I mean? Like, everything in this hobby is risky if you don't do it the right way. But with good practice and being very strict with your routine, you can achieve certain things and do it the right way. Now, I don't want to be sounding like, you know, a gloat or anything like that, because this could come back and bite me in the ass in the next few days. You know what I mean? Like, I could have an outbreak. I don't know what's going to happen yet, but I am definitely going to do any and everything possible to avoid it. I'm going to get that bacteria today. I'm going to make sure that I refreshen all the copepods and all of that good stuff into my system within the next week or two. And then we're just gonna take it from there. A lot of testing, checking my nutrients, make sure nothing bottoms out. And that's it, man. With all that said, guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, comment. Until the next video. Peace out.